First one, never let another man determine your value. Listen, this mental is what focus to build something bigger than what you left. Man, listen, if you out there within your life and you are trying to build something that nobody's seeing and they don't think that it's going to get to that level, you got to have that self-respect, that self-motivation to keep building and keep going and have that faith within yourself that you'll not only get to where they think you can get to, but you'll be even bigger. And that's the problem. A lot of people look for faith in other people's eyes or other people's words. You're not going to always get that. You got to have a faith within yourself to make it come out of their words, wow, you actually did it.
Hold your applause, I ain't done yet. Immortality got me weary since Kobe died. I got this watch on my arm, but I'll never know my time. So my focus lies in my work, which got me in overdrive. I can't break for a day. I'm in a maze of my mind. I can't make an escape.
Hey man, so we back with another episode of Decoding Two Sides of the System. I'm your host, King Trey. Man, thank y'all so much for the subscribers. Thank y'all for the engagement. I'm starting to get more comments. Y'all, make sure y'all keep liking, comment, and definitely subscribing. Man, I'm back with another episode, and y'all, this is what I'm doing now, man. I'm going on a run to I'm going to call this the Affirmation Run, and what I'm doing is I'm going to quote every show that I'm manifesting that I'm going to go on and I will be on one day. And if you haven't watched, I did the Mel Robbins, I did the Modern Wisdom. Today, I'm doing the Pivot Podcast, and I'm going to just talk about some of the things that I love from them and some of the lessons that they taught me and how I applied them into my life, just like I did the other one. So if you haven't already checked out, go check out the Mel Robbins. It's on the screen right now. Make sure you go lock. That one was good. Make sure you go watch the Modern Wisdom one. And again, y'all, daily I'm going to drop a pod. So y'all going to get a pod daily from me now, man. I got to lock in, and I am. It's that time. So I'm going to talk about the Pivot Podcast and just give them their flowers, man. Shout out to them guys. Oh, my bad. If you haven't already, make sure you follow me on Instagram. Go ahead and lock that in. Go ahead and follow me, man. All right, now we can get to it. First one. Never let another man determine your value. Listen, this is what I learned from the Pivot Podcast. When they was first on the I Am Athlete podcast and they was working with Brandon Marshall, shout out to him as well. I ain't got no beef with him, but whenever they got into the dispute, Shannon and Fred Taylor, he basically was saying that he made them along the lines of he's the reason why they are who they are. And they disagree with that. So they took a leap of faith. They left that show and they end up starting to pivot with Brian Clark and Shannon Crowder and Fred. They all just decided to get together. But one thing that I learned from that situation is, you never let a man tell you your value. And also, too, always have the self-confidence to be able to try something new, especially when things just ain't right. See, a lot of times in life, a lot of people are trying to make a situation right that's wrong. And what they did was they didn't let a person put a value on what they felt about themselves. So they went locked in and they started to pivot. And the road to that of just not only being motivated, but also just knowing like we leaving this show that work and we going to start our own show and we going to prove to not only you, but to ourselves that we are who we say we are. And I love how they added a Ryan Clark, which I'm going to get into the episode later, but just them as a three-man team just shows you, like, you know what, even though it's us two, we still going to go and add someone that we feel that'll make the show a whole. And that's very respectful for them because at the time, Ryan Clark was just doing the ESPN thing. But I love how they crossed over and then they got everything together. But that's just a lesson in life. Sometimes roadblocks come. Sometimes people don't see your value. So you got to see your value within yourself. And then if the situation is not right, then it's not right for you to stay. So I love everything that they did with that because it actually put a spotlight more on them, and they bet with themselves and they won. Because to me, the pivot is bigger than I Am Athlete has ever been. And like I said, it's no shot, but it's just a lesson in everything. Sometimes in life, we take for granted our value. We take for granted the things that we're capable of doing because you might can't see what's on the other side of your hard work and in your faith, but for them to take that rod and take that boat and to build it how they build it is exceptional, especially with everything that has came to them, bigger interviews, more guests. And I just love how they stood on their own, and shout out to Shannon and Fred for being brothers and just locking in and then just wanting to be better. Like, nah, like, let's go get something better. This is good. Let's go get something great and let's build something great. And I love that they took the initiative and they did what they had to do. And what in life do you know you need to do? And it might be something that you're regretting because you're comfortable and everything might be right in that person's eyes and you don't want to hurt their feelings, or this person is disvaluing you but you don't even value yourself enough to step out and try it and go for it. And that's just a testament of what I've learned from them is, know your worth, but also to be willing to put in the work to get your worth, because they didn't just hop on and everything came to them. No, they put in months of time of work and they have a structure of a pod that works. And I love what I learned from them because I feel like it could sprout out in all phases of my life. Like within relationships, within business, within being a son, just in all those phases of just knowing your worth and also realizing that a situation is not always a permanent situation. Things might change. Shout out to them, man. Phenomenal pod. We're going to go to another lesson I learned. Mental focus to build something bigger than what you left. Listen, the mental focus that they had to have to build it bigger than the I Am Athlete podcast had to come with a lot of not only pressure, but just faith. Because a lot of times in life, whenever you win, you get comfortable because you understand what winning is, so you can go to a level to where you just know you're going to win. But to leave a winning situation and go to a situation of unknown, but have the faith to work to get that win, that's exceptional. And a lot of people, they don't have the faith to step out on their own and build something bigger than what they leaving. If you at a job and you feel like, I know this job, I work for somebody that's cooking, but I know that I could do it better. That faith of you doing that takes a lot of faith, because you'll just be comfortable with getting this paycheck. And even though you don't like this person, it's allowing you to live your life. But if you take that faith and you go and you build your business, you can live the life that you always wanted to live and be the boss that you always wanted to be. And this is a lesson from that, because everybody likes the ending. Nobody likes to start. Nobody likes to build up things from something. And to see them guys to where somebody think you're nothing, they told you you're nothing, to build yourself into something even bigger than the platform that you was on, my God, I mean, it's exceptional. You gotta give flowers of what you seeing, and me just seeing that and knowing that, that's the lessons that I took from that. Like, how can somebody tell you how big you gonna get? How can somebody tell you that you'll never be bigger than them? How can anybody put limitations on you? Can't nobody put limitations on you. Can't nobody tell you what you're gonna achieve. Can't nobody take away your work ethic. They can't take away your dreams. You gotta work until you get it. And I feel like that was the situation, they wasn't going to quit. They wasn't going to stop just because things wasn't going. They continued to work. They continued to build their platform and their brand, and look where they are now. And me just saying that is just motivational, because, like, don't nobody know me. Don't nobody know my platform. But one day I'm going to be on that platform talking and giving you guys gems. And it's just going to be a round of a circle moment. Like, wow, like, bro, like, you actually did it. And definitely gonna be emotional. But again, people didn't believe that I would get to this point. People didn't believe that I would make it to this is episode 46. people didn't think I was gonna do 46 episodes. They thought I was gonna quit. I remember working a job and coming in, and I was talking about my podcast, and the guy looked at me and laughed. He said, "You still do that?" Probably because he went check me out and I didn't have a lot of views or subscribers at the time. But that's what people do. People listen to you and they give you this false little, oh yeah, da da da, but they don't really believe that you can do that. So to actually do it and to build it and to go through those tough times, because it's tough times, you're doing something new, you're learning new people of working on that type of setting every day. Even though you're friends, it's different when you get into content and who does this, who does what, and just finding their rhythm. But for them to not only find their rhythm, but also to build it, I mean, you got to get flowers when you see that, man. And if you out there within your life and you are trying to build something that nobody's seeing and they don't think that it's going to get to that level, you got to have that self-respect, that self-motivation to keep building and keep going and have that faith within yourself that you'll not only get to where they think you can get to, but you'll be even bigger. And that's the problem. A lot of people look for faith in other people's eyes or other people's words. You're not going to always get that. You got to have a faith within yourself to make it come out of their words. Wow, you actually did it. Shout out to them guys for that too, man. Next one. It's Ryan Clark. Man, shout out Ryan Clark, man, from Louisiana to the NFL media. You know, I got a lot of respect for Ryan Clark. He probably my favorite one out of all of them. You know, shout out to all the guys, though. I got a lot of respect for him. But Ryan Clark came from Louisiana, and he's from Louisiana. He went to LSU. I'm a big LSU fan. I'm from Louisiana. And whenever he went to the NFL, he was undrafted. And being undrafted, not picked by nobody having the faith that you can even play in the NFL. And then he's an undrafted player, but then he ended up making the team. And y'all know his career. Great player for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But it's just people undermine, oh, he just went undrafted. No, that means nobody believed in you. That means you had to get it out the mud. You had to go in there, go in the building and fight every day. Be the person that they can't miss. And that's how he played every game. You know, he gave his all to football. He gave his all, his body, his mind, his spirit to every play. You know, if y'all know Ryan Clark, of how he used to play, man, dude was crazy. And I mean, I say crazy because the way he used to hit people, but I used to love his play style and his mentality. Like, man, y'all ain't let me in this door. Now that I'm here, I'm going to give it my all. I'm putting my all and everything into the field. And I'm just glad that, you know, Ryan Clark, the person on the field, which a lot of people don't know. I'm a big fan. He's a very big trash talker. He about whatever. Like, I remember the clip with him and Derrick Henry, and he's saying that he really owned that whenever he on that field. Even though Derrick Henry would have ran his ass over, respectfully. But he owned that, and you got to respect a man like that. But I understand it from the mental standpoint. I'm undrafted. I'm here, and y'all not going to be able to cut me. I'm going to do you let me in this door, I'm never coming back to where you could kick me out. I'm going to put everything in every rep, every tackle, every hit. I'm trying to split people. And you got to respect people like that because it's a lot of times in life to where you're undrafted. People don't believe in you. People don't think that you're going to do something. You doubt it. But just how you carry yourself matters. You know, Ryan Clark on the field, Ryan Clark off the field is two different things. Off the field, he's very professional, very respectable. Willing to hear even if he's wrong. Willing to go back and forth with people on his opinion if he feels strong. I think the same thing. So, I mean, I'm rocking with him with that. And that's just me. I'm just being real. But the thing about Ryan Clark is he understands off the field business and the person you gotta be. And that's a lesson for everybody that's out there. Not only are you undrafted and people not seeing you, but how you carry yourself matters when you're not in the spotlight. Because when you do get in the spotlight, your characteristics and your habits are going to shine brighter than your success. And what I mean by that is, if you got bad habits, no matter how successful you are, if you got bad habits of talking trash and not being respectable, cussing, doing all that, your success is not going to matter when it comes to the opportunities because you as an individual will not be seen as somebody that will be respectable enough to lead a network, respectable enough to be on camera representing a big network. So shout out to Ryan Clark for that. And he kind of showed me the difference between whenever we in the field of play in war, I'm a warrior. But off that field, you gotta be professional. And there's a fine line between that. But also, too, never losing the hungerness in this. Whenever he does his takes, whenever he has his research, he's to the T. And it's the same mentality, it's just in a different light. I don't think that your thought is better than my thought. Let's debate it. This is why I'm right. Putting that energy into something different. I have a lot of respect for him. And if you somebody out there to where you're not being seen, to where you're working and you're not getting the opportunity, attack it like that. Attack it with that mentality. Every set, every rep, everything. I love that by Ryan Clark, man. And I'm a big fan of him. Shout out to him. And shout out to everything that he's been able to accomplish. Super Bowl champion. All that, man. LSU strong, for sure. Next one, Shannon Crowder. Shout out to him. I'm a big fan of Shannon Crowder. Just his story off the field is what caught me. Played in the league, but just the person he was deemed as a fighter. Whenever he was in this car, he got in a lot of trouble. He spent his time at the strip club. Hey, I don't mind you, shit. I would have been throwing ones too. I ain't gonna lie to you, respectively. But nah, just like his demeanor of people, how they thought about him because he was a fighter, and that's just where he came from. But for him to be able to transition and understand media and go into his lane of actually being a nice, funny guy. You know what I'm saying? But just because people are nice, funny guys don't mean that they're going to be nice to everybody. And I think that's where people get the difference within realness and fakeness. But just for him to do that transition and also learn media and really take in that he really has a great personality to where he really is funny. Because a lot of people might tell you funny, you got a great personality. But whenever you believe it within yourself, I feel like that's what deemed him to try to comedy and to get up on that stage and to do stand-up. And I applaud him for that because a lot of people can talk trash, but it's a bunch of people who can't do what they talking trash about. And for him to take that step and take that role and to get on that stage, I mean, I don't know the feeling of that because I've never done comedy, but I know the feeling of doing something that you've never done before and then believing in yourself that you're going to be able to walk up on that stage and say, I have the ability to make these people laugh. I'm going to do this or I'm going to try. This is how I feel. If you out there, this is how you got to feel whenever you first starting your podcast or your platform or you starting to do whatever you want to do. That's just like you walking up on this stage as a comedian for the first time and all these different faces is looking at you like, entertain me. That's how I feel every day within the pod when I don't have engagement and things like that. It's like I'm not getting booed, but I'm not getting the yays either. So I understand that feeling, and for people to have a confidence to do that, that takes a lot of self-confidence. That takes a lot of self-trust. That takes a lot of self-belief within yourself to not only say, I'm going to try it, but I'm okay if I fail it up there. Because there is a possibility that you fail, and that's a lot of the times where I don't feel like people give people their flowers like they should be because there's an opportunity that you might fail. It's just like how we criticize these guys that's in the NBA that don't win championships. It's like we get to watch them fail, but we can only watch. We're not in the battle with them. We don't know what's actually going on. We can only go by what we see. If we see, they're not giving effort, We don't know what's going on at home, but in today's time, nobody cares. They only care about what you do when you're on camera. It's like me right now. I'm going through a lot. People don't care about that. People care about if I'm on camera and what's going on and am I going to continue to build and through adversity, am I going to work? This is the life that we live in, and I want to shout out him for that because there's a lot of people in life that can take that lesson and grow from that I want to do something and I'm going to have the faith to try to do it and know even if I failed, I tried. A lot of people don't like to accept failure. A lot of people would rather play it safe and do the things that they know that they'll win at because they don't have the mental capacity to fail. And that's why people get caught in a box. That's why people are not able to elevate. So I want to shout out to all those guys because they didn't let nothing put them in a box of the show that they were on before and the heights that there was. They said, not only do we see that height, but we're going to reach higher. So shout out to those three guys, man. And shout out to everything they built within the pivot. And I just want to let them know, one day when I am on y'all show, it's going to be so funny whenever that time comes. But it's a full circle moment of everything that has ever went right for me right now, because everything's going wrong. So, I mean, I think when I look back at this, man, it might be emotional. But shout out to the pivot. Shout out to those guys. Yeah. Since we shouting out Fred Taylor, we might as well get to him because this is the last one. And shout out to Fred. And listen, y'all, the thing about Fred Taylor to me that caught my attention, the things that I learned, is his professionalism. He's very, very professional. And just the way that he carries himself. Like, even whenever he was in the league playing for the the Jaguars, I noticed that he was just a phenomenal player. Like, watching football with the older people in my family, and he was a fan. I mean, they were fans of him, and he's just always been the consummate professional. Even whenever he was toting and he didn't really have a lot of help around him, it wasn't really a lot of noise on him complaining and doing things. And even whenever he was hurt, he put his best foot forward and tried everything to get his body back healthy and things like that. And every time he faced adversity, he faced it head on. He didn't run to the left. He didn't run to the right. He ran straight forward. And I just love the consummate professional. Fred Taylor, to me, is somebody who don't talk a lot, but when he talk, is more than enough, more than a lot, because the gems that he gives and just how they style is, me really studying them and just being able to learn, like, everybody has a certain role. And whenever, they're doing their pods, like, I know how it's ran because I really studied. Fred is the professional guy. He gonna sit back. Ryan is like the narrator, get to the next point, joke here. Channing gonna be the wild man, and Fred's just gonna be that one that where he hears something, he goes, and then they all can go and they feed off of each other, but really feed off Fred. Fred is a very important person within that thing because how he carries himself. He listens and then he puts that gym together and then he asks the questions, or he gives that gym to be able to push things forward. And I learned a lot from Fred would sometimes take a step back and analyze a situation and make the best decision and not the decision in the moment. And, not just a podcast, with what he does with sports, with the Jaguars and everything. I'm giving you flowers right now, but y'all using Travis Hunter wrong. Let him sink or swim. Put him on there to sink or let him swim. Prove to him that he can't do it. Stop with this bull game planning, man. We wasting talent. We wasting time. That's why he got hurt. He don't know what he doing. Come on, man. But nah, man. Fred is a phenomenal human being to study just because the business acumen of what they did, partnering with the Fanletics at the time. That this is gonna come out that they are. I don't know the deals and stuff now, but just even just things that they build and just I love how no matter what has came up after they talked about the situation a couple times, Fred was like, all right, I'm done with that, man. It is what it is. And they were able to move forward. Like, however that went or whatever conversation, he doesn't go on there and trash people and send certain shots and things like that. And I can respect that because I don't know what happened behind the scenes. But all I do know is how he handles himself, how he carries himself for all three of them. As men, I definitely respect, and something that I can't wait to one day be a part of being on their platform and talking to them and things like that. But all their mentalities align as well, and I think people take that for granted. And I mean the mentality of when it's work is business. They might crack jokes or whatever, but they keep their business acumen first, and they move as one. Whenever Ryan was going through his thing, RG3, they all was right there with him. And that's one thing that in life that I learned, that you want to have people that when things go left and things go down, the people that's there for you, the people that take care of you, take care of them. That's something that I was struggling with at the time or right now. But I'll be better. And, I just pray to God every day that, the next opportunity that I get and everything comes aligned, that don't happen. So shout out to them. Shout out to those guys. And those are some of the lessons and things that I've learned from the pivot. And I hope that y'all can feed off and take these things and push forward. And the last thing, man, the importance of doing right when nobody is watching. I think that is the most important thing, because right now I don't feel like nobody is watching, but one day I'm going to have thousands of people, millions of people that watch me. I'm going to be able to go to speaking engagements and move mental health and talk around the world and do everything. But right now it's very important that I do everything I need to do while nobody is watching me. I get my habits together. I get my life together, principles together. So you out there, it is very important that you do the work while nobody is watching you, because it's going to build the person that they're going to be waiting to get. The person that you are waiting to be is already in you. You just got to build that person in the dark. You don't get to build that person when you shine in the light. The people that have to do that, that's why they make mistakes, because they never had to be the individual that they know they need to be now. They don't have the experience with being that. So we see them stumble, trip, and fall. But for me, I feel like God is going to bless me at the perfect time to get everything that I want to get, because he's building that man within myself that I need to be in order to get what I want to get, in order to be that actual person that deserves to get everything that I want to get. So shout out to those guys. Shout out to the Pivot. And like I said, I'll be doing a bunch of these pods, man, of just these platforms of things that I learned and lessons that I learned, and one day where I want to get them. And this is actually genuine. I've actually watched darn near every episode from episode 1, and I'm a big fan and definitely a student of the game. So shout out to those guys, and one day, one day, man, I'll be able to tell y'all my biggest pivot. So, hey, if you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you go check out my other content. And y'all already know the motto, man. Be different.
Hey, it's your boy King Trey here with Decoding, Two Sides of the System. I've been telling y'all that I got a big announcement. Well, it's here. I've now partnered with my first deal with the Clap app. And listen, all you gotta do is use my link. Boom, it's gonna be here, it's gonna be here, it's gonna be here, all down here. Listen, click the link. If you got any videos that you want to make reels out of, if you got any podcasts, gym content that you talking or anything, and you don't know how to make your own reels or your content creation, all you got to do is use my link, plug in your URL to your content, and it will make your reels for you. Listen, this is an opportunity for you to take whatever content you got to the next level. And with Clap, that's what we doing. We taking it to the next level. So I want to thank everybody that's been supporting me from day one, to all the people, all my new subscribers. Like I say, y'all not subscribers, y'all family members. The Be Different family is growing fast. And with the growth, we're now accomplishing new things. So I want to thank y'all for supporting me, growing with me. And listen, y'all make sure y'all tap in. I'm talking about, listen, I'm clapping. Hey, it's there. Use the link and let me know what, you know what? Forget all that. I want to see who got the best content. Use my link, tag me in the content, and I'm going to throw you on the pod. That's what we doing. I'm going to shout you out to all the family. Whoever got the best content, that make the best content using the Clap app, is going on the pod, man. So y'all already know the motto, be different.